What up? What up? What up? What up, world? As I got this screen all messed up here, I'm all by myself today. I'm trying to get the screen up right and get this thing going here. So let's get some stuff started. I don't know, see if there's any chats going on yet. Nobody's here yet. Wow. I'm all alone on Monday night. Not even kidding about this. Um, what is the background here? Let me get this fixed. That's not working for me. Uh, I guess I'll just have to roll with this one. It's as good as it gets right now. Yeah, none of these are working for me. I'm not sure what they use for a single person on a Monday night. But tonight is Overreaction Monday night. Welcome to the Get Right Fantasy Network. I don't know if I mentioned that, but hey, good to have you guys here tonight. Oh, we got some people in the chat now. All right, what's up? What's up, man? Yeah, I'll try to hold it down here, guys. So bear with me. It is a one man show tonight, and I'm gonna fix some things here. Look like crap. Didn't get a haircut today, so I got jacked up. Try to fix this here. Yeah, man. So, anyways, as I get through all that overreaction Monday, right? What are we talking about here? I took some notes down. You know, Brady's throwing some picks. That was a terrible game for Brady. I'm not sure what was going on there, and it's the second game that Tampa Bay's losing. So, just a little bit tidbit of food for thought. I'm not sure where to go with that, but I just thought it was interesting that they're on the sliding streak here. Mahomes is back, another guy that we were waiting on and having some terrible games, and now he's back full force as usual. And I lost due to him. I mean, the dude puts up like 40, 50 points. I mean, I literally had that lead again going into Monday night, and he just happens to crush me again. Mostly to a friend of mine who has him as a keeper, so it's the same guy. I have a lead going in, and I wasn't feeling comfortable. I already knew that this could happen, so at least I was prepared for the loss, right? So Mahomes doing Mahomes things, and so he's back. And now, speaking of Cam is back, right? Um, that's awesome. Hopefully it becomes a viable fantasy option. It obviously helps CMC. They got nobody over there, right? Nobody. So let's get going on that, right? Uh, what do you say? They'll use an overlay. Well, I don't know how to not to put an overlay there. So sorry. Maybe I could switch out from the overlay. Let me see if I can get that. All right. Bam. There we go. Now we got no overlay. That looks a lot better. Now we're working it out. Um, these past 2 weeks have screwed me. Yeah, no, I feel it, Jonathan. Out there, it's some rush sledding. But hey, on the bright side, I won a 12 pack. I'm gonna give me some Mine Haze. I bet a buddy of mine a 12 pack on one of our games. So that's what's up. Sometimes you get they're not all winners, but some of them are. If you're plenty of leagues, right? Um, another guy that we want to talk about. Really the whole team basically. The Packers shut out the Seahawks. So, is the Packers defense that good or the Seahawks that terrible? What's going on over there, right? But they did put it down, and that's it's been a while since I've seen the Seahawks go scoreless. So that's something to say, right? Anthony's got screaming over here some Debo. Yeah, that was a nice catch and run, man. I seen that. And they're definitely putting it to the Rams, who was all hype, man. It's hype, right? The Rams just signed OBJ. They got Von Miller from Miami. It's like the LA's putting the team together to go to Super Bowl, and they want to be another team that wins at home, that kind of type deal. And then womp, 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 right? What happened here? The 49ers finally get their first home win. That's what's up. You know, um, we got that going for us, Anthony's giving me some little logo up in the corner thing. Let's try that. At this point, I don't think you can even see it. My logo's all behind me, so that's what's up. Shout out to our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. They got a lot of games going on over there. Some pick'ems, some rivals that I like to play as myself, and some other. They got aside from football, all kinds of other sports and some cool betting going on. And right now, they are matching 100% of your deposit up to $100. So if you put in $100, you get $100 for free on their site. So bet on. So that's not a bad deal. Go check them out. Again, it's a underdog fantasy, and they're supporting us, so you should support them. So hit us up. Um, what do we got here? Some of these guys. All right, Dylan also saying Debo wide receiver run season. Yeah, probably. I think we've been already saying that he's the man. We were wanting to see what happened with the quarterback situation. I think they kind of settled down with Garoppolo. I think that he is the best option for them, and look what they're doing. You know what I mean? That dude's a real wide receiver one. It's the real deal. You know what I mean? Like he's going to continue to put up those good numbers for you, right? Um, so Luke's talking here. Said I need help. I'm on one of the seed in the league, but I'm on a 3-game losing streak. Have Brady, Cook, Jacobs, Hopkins, Judy, Ayuk, Pitts, and Julio. Please help. I don't think your team's too doing that bad. You just had a couple bad games. Because who doesn't like Brady? Josh Jacobs is where, yeah, I could see the problem there. The running back with Jacobs is a problem. You might want to move him. Hopkins, he's got the injury. He's out for right now. I don't know who you got for backup. Um, Jerry Judy, um, he's coming back, so he should be doing okay. But Tim Patrick's been kind of still in his thunder. Brandon Ayuk, uh, he's was jobbable for me a while back. He had a flash. Not sure how well he's doing. Um, Kyle Pitts, he had a pretty decent game. He's up and coming. Julio Jones, yeah, not so much for me either, man. Yeah, actually, now that I look at it, you got some problems. I'm not sure how to help you because I need to see what's available in your league. But I would definitely try to trade, maybe some Cook for some people or even Hopkins and get you some other pieces that'll help your team. Sometimes you could get, one top wide receiver for two WR2s that'll help your team more than the one WR1, depending on who they are. And Hopkins is a big name, so hopefully maybe you can move him and create some pieces for yourself. But you got trouble with Jacobs and the other guys at you. I mean, yeah, you need some help there. Um, so he's saying Ayuk is out of the doghouse. So I didn't even get to. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see many of the games. I'll be honest. Was out fishing, and they had the wrong guy here on a Monday night to cover everything that's going on. But I did try to do as much homework as I could for you guys prior to getting started here, and we'll keep the show rolling. Mitchell 27 carries here from Anthony. Only 91 yards, but still, hey, it is what it is. He's getting the touches, so obviously you like to see that. Even if it is only 91 yards, that means that next game he's going to get 27 carries, and hopefully he gets 27 carries with 2 touchdowns and the 100 yards. You know what I mean? It's all game script. Obviously, he was running against a really good defense, and his team still put it down. They carried the ball over 40 times. I know I seen the stat at the end that they were just running the ball down their neck, which is crazy because they got pretty good defense, obviously, in pass rushers, the whole situation there. But it's working for the 49ers. Can you help me with the comment above this, Luke? Yeah, no, that was talking about your team. So I think I covered that already. Yeah, you need some help. I just don't know what you have available or what you can do with that team because at this point, Brady's on the downslide. Jacobs is what's hurting. Hopkins is hurt. Jerry Judy should be the one coming back. Pitts is okay. I mean, like I said, I don't know. Don't want to rehash that here, but I happen to be doing that. um, let's see, Jedi Mind Trick series, bro. I won by 3 points. Uh, National Bat guy was stressing me out. No, I feel it. I've lost by basically 2 games by under a full point, and I won a couple games this week by under a point. So I was doing all right. Actually, about 2 points, 3 points, but that's what got me the 12 back. So it's all good. Uh, yeah, check fantasy. Mitchell only had uh, 9.1, but I saw that he had a ton of carries. Yeah, that's good. It's always the touches. Touches equals touchdowns. You know what I mean? And that's being involved in the offense. If that's PPR, that's a pretty decent game as well. Uh, Yeah, no, I agree, Jonathan. I didn't like Brady this week either. I kind of started with that, throwing some 2 picks. Let's see who's up to bat here after that. Um, Major injury news here, right? It's kind of hard to keep this going by yourself. Get a lot of ums and this and that going on, but we're gonna plow through this today, guys. Um, I know that I'm trying to find the text that Dustin sent me with some major injuries this week. And one of the ones that I wanted to mention is Aaron Jones. He's only going to be out 1 to 2 weeks, so that's not going to be too bad. But AJ Dillon is up to bat. That's why we put on the thumbnail. He's I think the waiver wire one guy to go get picked up if he's not already picked up, because a lot of people more than likely already had him on their teams. But you want to mention it anyways, so that you could see what's coming up, right? Let's see who else we got. Cordero Patterson also went down. Another major name. He's been killing it for a lot of people this week, this season. And you know, Mike Davis, maybe he gets a shot. Maybe he does better. But Wayne Gallman Jr. Was the guy that was being highlighted in the game. Got 15 carries, 55 yards, 2 yard reception. And 2 for 2 on the yards and one reception there. So Wayne Gallman Jr. is probably another sneaker pickup there. I'm sure people are looking at the teams, and that's probably maybe the guy to pick up over there. So another guy to take a look at, because again, running backs are a prime, and you need to have them. Another guy would be Tennessee with Dante. I'm going right into waiver wire almost here. I just got to look at the injuries again for most of this week. But again, I'm sorry, uh, wasn't around for most of the games this week, and I try to catch up as much as possible. Um, so I'll go through the chats a little bit here and catch up on what's going on as I look some stuff up real quick. Yeah, Mitchell didn't like Brady. Okay, Luke, it's brutal. Get your point. Okay, let me get to something. And you just is is too is too reliable. Yeah, well maybe unreliable. Okay, that's what he's unreliable. Yeah, so he's a waiver wire pickup, and you just gotta get lucky with that guy. Play him in the right week, daily fantasy type guy. That's what I would use him as. That's about it. I wouldn't put him in my lineup. Thanks for the advice. Appreciate on the reply. Oh no, you're welcome, man. Sorry, but yeah, I think that the best thing you got is Hopkins, and that's where you're going to be able to make some moves with that guy. Everybody else is just not certain about your thing. I gotta fix this camera. Give me 1 second, guys. Usually resets when I do that. So these guys are talking about themselves, so that's making it a little difficult. Get some guys. Eli Murphy, what up, people? What's up? What's up? Let's see what we got. Should I offer Gibson and Hopkins for Kamara and Devante? I would. See if you can. He'd be coming up. Kamara's hurt, but he should be back. Devante, uh, obviously doing well. Gibson just had a big game, so you could sell high. And Hopkins is injured, so you're kind of trading injured player for a healthy for player. I think you'd end up winning that, so I would go for that. Let's see, kind of thinking about that. 100%. I got to get through these. Sorry, man. Some of these guys are not uh, part of what I'm talking about here. Let's see what Eli's talking about. People in my league would. I have a friend scared about Kamara and one scared of Devontae. Yeah, all the all the better reason. If they're not happy with their guys, it's going to be an easy trade, and you should be able to come up on that trade. I think you'd be winning, especially if your team's set up in such a way that you could pick up these guys and not skip a beat and not have a problem, right? And I totally messed up, guys. I should have brought something to drink, and I think I only got some distilled water next to me. So, uh, getting some dry mouth here. I mean, both are good choices. I would go Adams, but I would need or not both. Okay, sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up on some of these things. I'm either picking up Landry or Peoples Jones. Um, I mean, it's a toss up with both of those guys, but I would maybe shoot for Jarvis Landry. I always feel like with Donovan Peoples Jones is just a flash in the pan here and there every year. He always, drop his name and then he goes away and disappears. So, again, another one of those unreliable guys. Um, Browns passing offense is horrid. Yeah, yeah. I'd be basically stay away from there. I don't think it's Baker's fault. It's might be the line or just everybody that's over there, and just things not going well for them. Sometimes it's just the team chemistry at the end of the day. Let's see, we get the player news. Deandre Carter finds end zone. Another guy is getting some 6 catches for 56 yards and a touchdowns in that win over there with the Buccaneers. So you got to look at that. Let's see if I'm trying to find the injury news, but unfortunately, again, it's one man show, so it's pretty hard to hold it down over here. Um, and go back to some of the notes that I had. The waiver wire guys, there's a couple guys. We already had mentioned Rashad Bateman. If he's still available, you should definitely go after him. Um, that's one guy they already have on my team. I'm really happy with. Michael Gallup, I think everybody we mentioned that he was coming back from injury. Now he's getting started, and he'd had a pretty decent week with 3 of 5 for 42 yards. But he's getting more and more involved in the offense, so I think see better things for him. I know that we mentioned Ramondre Stevenson last week, but as always, it's a wait and see to figure out who's going to be the guy in New England, and I just don't like New England running backs because of that situation. Because Belichick will switch it up at any moment, and then you have a different guy running the ball, and kind of doing their thing. So, with that being said, pick him up with caution because if he throws up a dud next week, be warned. I kind of let you know that that kind of happens over there in New England. But if Harris stays injured, he should be the guy to have over there. He went 2 for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 of 5 receiving, 14 yards, which is not much. But I mean, it's all about all those touches and getting the touchdowns. So again, that's what you're looking for in those guys. Another pickup, Elijah Moore. We also mentioned him on the Jets. Got some garbage time touchdown. Went for 3 of 6 for 44 yards and a touchdown. Also, I like him over there again with the running back Mitchell over there that they have, um, and he's holding it down. I have him as myself. So Michael Carter. I'm sorry, Michael Carter over there, and he had his touchdown as well. So those are the two guys to have on that team, if anybody. And another guy just worthy mention is I'm going to say Brian Edwards with Las Vegas, 3 of 4, 88 yards and a touchdown. He might be the guy that replaces, the unmentionable guys that just went off and did some stupid stuff. I don't understand how these, well played athletes don't already have a chauffeur where they're driving them everywhere, especially if they're going to party and drinking. They should have a better, you know, make better life choices at the end of the day, right? Um, uh, let's see. I got a one about here. Jedi mind tricks. Uh, you all right? Just thinking about OBJ being gone might have more licks. Yeah, that's a possibility. Obviously, we were talking about uh, him going to the Rams and then having Woods and Von Jefferson and all these guys take a hit, but we were keeping Cooper Cup solid. This outing that they had against the 49ers was not a good example of what should be happening going forward. So it really just muddled it up for us, anyways. But I mean, Woods going down with his injury obviously made it just that much easier for OBJ. But it's just not happening. You got to wait a week or two for things to pan out over there. Um, and Jedi Mind Tricks again. I have Metcalf, Higgins, and Judy. Oh well, there you are. That's a pretty decent setup right there. That also means Landry. Yeah, he's always been talking about that, about OBJ and Jarvis Landry having more looks now. Let these guys talk about themselves, but OBJ wasn't getting any when he was there, anyways, and that's the truth. That's what he was complaining about. And then when they did get a pass, his dad was making jokes. He's just a, I think he's a bad seed. I'm glad he's out of there. I didn't think he was doing very much, and he's been on the decline for the last couple of years. Ever since he left the Giants, he's been just a name that you've seen at the Giants, but he hasn't produced still nearly as well. Maybe it'll help out with being Stafford, but we'll see how it works out. Let's see. Check this one out here from Wolf Warrior 101. Just traded away Jalen Hurts for Pittman Jr. What you think? I have Brady. Well, then you're good. I know that Brady just didn't have a good game and things like that, and that happens. I mean, they're not all winners. I mean, that's why we have wins and losses in NFL. Nobody goes undefeated, or if it'd be that easy, right? So you kind of got to ride the waves with people. I should have, dummy, I should have kept Tannehill. He had a terrible start of the season. Now he's coming up strong towards the end, and I don't have him anymore. I'm kicking myself in the butt for that. So in that case, if I was also looking to drop Jalen Hurts, but Hurts had a pretty good week this week, and he kind of went back to doing some Hurts things that I wanted him to see him do. So I was really happy that that actually happened. So if you are trading away to get Michael Pittman Jr., I think that that dude's really good, and I think he did a good job because you already have Brady anyways. So why not get another skill position upgrade, right? And he went for 178 yards and two passing touchdowns. He did have an interception, 14 rushing against. I didn't get the whole yardage. Where's he at? There you go. I can't say, I didn't see it that way. It's probably better off here. 14 rushing yards at 14 rushing attempts, 53 yards. Sorry about that. Uh, so yeah, I mean, but I do like the trade. Eli's confirming good trade. Pittman is solid. Yes, I agree. Pittman's solid. I think he's a good wide receiver to be having. I would target him, especially if I could. If he had the room to get him. And Eli Murphy again going on with honestly, Kendrick Bourne has been really good. Not a bad pickup. Yeah, no, he hasn't been too bad. Uh, let's see what Wolf Warrior 101. Yeah, I have DJ Moore, CD, and Devonte Smith. But Moore is slacking. Yeah, it depends on DJ. I think he's talking about DJ Moore, but I think things are going to be looking up with Cam over there. Um, and just the whole situation should be a lot better for Carolina Panthers there. Um, hopefully, yeah, look, he's agreeing with you. Helps him. Moore will stay bad till QB situation gets better, and that I've said that time and time again. Having these QBs that you're picking up, and players for that matter, are just you know only good, wide receivers are only good as their quarterback. If they can't get the ball from the quarterback, you might as well just throw that guy away, or at least bench him till they get a better quarterback situation. Just like when somebody gets injured, if the next man up can't get the job done, your guy's suffering. I think case in point would be over here in Chicago, and my guy over there going down wide receiver there, and it's just a bad situation. I think I even was looking to drop Allen Robinson. Bad quarterback play. He's been pretty much quarterback proof most of his career, and now he goes in there, and I thought Red Rocket was going to be over there, but he's not. Now they're trying to rookie, and it's just all bad for Allen Robinson, and that happens. So you got to be aware of that. But you know, see what happens, right? Um, let's see where we at here. Is coming in hot on some of these things. I'm trying to keep up with everything. Uh, any hope for Robbie Anderson now that Cam is back in town? Uh, you know, he had a pretty decent game, and I think that things are looking up. I mean, maybe it's just they had a good game. It's Overreaction Monday, right? So let's keep that in mind. It's just one game, right? They got to win. It was a landslide victory, but it's a good way, and step in the right direction. And you know, So, hopefully the rest everybody on that team benefits from Cam being back. Not that Cam was that much of an upgrade. Obviously, they didn't let him go, but it didn't work out in New England. I'm not sure. I don't think he was ever a New England type of guy, anyways. For Bill Belichick, he needed to stay where he was at, anyways. They just needed to roll with what he was doing, and obviously they found out that they couldn't get anybody better, so now they brought him back. And Wolf Warrior's agreeing with me. I drafted Allen Robinson, and he's I know the pain. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those guys that he was a pretty decent wide receiver, and I was happy to pick him up this year. And next, um, Dalton goes down. They're breaking up a backup rookie wide receiver. So everything was just all bad for him. I think if Andy Dalton was in there, it would be a better situation for Allen Robinson. But it's just that happens with some of these. wide receiver. So that's why Moore is not having that great a situation. But now with Cam back, hopefully everything get the ship gets righted, right? That's a Eli. This is moving on me. I think it was like 50-50. He turns into like a wide receiver three. Yeah, he might. He might. Let's see what happens. Give it one more week, and then you could see Eli is our dog. I drafted Antonio Gibson and MT Michael Thomas, and I don't want to hear you're talking. I have Michael Thomas as well. I picked him up. He's gone for the year, and I also have a bit of Antonio Gibson. So I'm there. I'm there with you. Uh, Someone in the league traded Ruggs for Kyle Pitts. Nice. I would take that. It's rough. It's rough. I think Kyle Pitts is doing all right coming up. As we go head into the end of the season here. Um, you know, I know that Natty Ice and him are getting a lot better connection. I have him on one of my teams here, and he ended up giving me just 10 fantasy points in that blowout uh, loss to Dallas. Basically, I mean, it's not a good game for them. What do they expect? You know what I mean? It couldn't. What are you going to get from a losing effort like that, right? Um, but there are better days to come, and obviously he's getting the touches, 4 of 7 for 60 yards over there with Kyle Pitts. So not a bad deal. I like the guy. Let's see, LeBron's brain. Would you trade CD Hawkinson for Devante Adams? I have Kelsey. Yeah, I would because you have Kelsey. So you don't need Hawkinson. So what you're really doing is just kind of doing a package for CD and Hawkinson, and CD's really good though. He's getting his touchdowns now. But Adams is obviously a true number one, and you know how he gets over there with Rogers and him on some games. That guy's a beast. So I think it's an upgrade for you, especially since you already have Kelsey. You're not going to be using Hawkinson unless he goes down, and that's again, any player at any time, injury barring injury, you should be good. Eli Green, oh, he's that would be great value. uh, Henry Ruggs is gone. You mean I know? That's what's awesome about it. Uh, so he's like, that's the point. Yeah, we get it. I guess Devante is 100% better option. Yep. Yeah, I would definitely do that. I do like CD a lot though, but I mean, you're giving up something to get something, and that helps him get a decent wide receiver over there. So that's improving his team as well. Picking up CD, obviously he's taking a little loss there, but now he's got two better players depending on what he had at tight end. It's a win-win for people involved on that, right? Let me go back over here to some of the waiver wire guys that we had on my list here. Sorry, I use my phone a lot. I got to take a look at these guys. So overall, Ramondre Stevenson, as I mentioned off the top of the show. Um, but again, AJ Dillon. But AJ Dillon's probably a lot more rostered, and that's why a lot of people were using him as an RB2 even or a flex play. So given that option, you know, Ramondre Stevenson would be the next guy up because of just you know rostering, right? Michael Gallup, who's already at like 52%, but you still got to mention it. Elijah Moore, who's at 44%. We mentioned him a little bit earlier. Actually, no, I'm not sure if we mentioned Elijah Moore, but he went 306 for 44 yards and a touchdown. I think I did mention that. Along with him with Michael Carter, right over there. Wayne Gallman, again another guy. Deontay Foreman over there, Tennessee, seems to be the guy that's getting the touches over there. 11 to 30, and 2 for 2 reception for 48 yards. 13 touches in total for 78 yards. Right, so that's not too bad. And obviously Tennessee lost King Henry, so they got to try to figure out who to replace him with, and maybe this is the man. Benjamin gets the honorable mention because he's still the handcuff to James Conner, and Conner has been a breakable, and didn't do anything in the game. So I don't hope you're not starting him. I did pick him up just to hold him. just to see if 2, 3, 4 games from now, and I don't really need him. I just not even using waiver wire space, but just to have the guy available that needs to be available. And he's a running back. Obviously you always tie him up. The number one waiver wire pickup here that we're looking at, or at least I'm looking at, for QB would be Cam Newton. Again, being back, and it is overreaction, but I've seen him in the past do very well, and hopefully he has a resurgence now that he's back over there with Carolina, and that should be good for them. Tua Tagovailoa, he came up off the bench. Man, I have him. He was hurt. I didn't start him, and they benched the guy that was starting the game, even though Tua had a broken finger, and he even hit his hand on the guy's helmet. Still kept him in the game, uh, and gave him the best option over there. Honorable mention again, Mac Jones, who I actually started at one point, but was killing me. And I don't care for Justin Fields of Chicago, or Jimmy G would be another guy. Killer game tonight. He's only 17% rostered, so definitely be looking out for Jimmy G and see if that's a guy that you need or somebody that you need on your roster, depending on your situation, right? Um, Eli Murphy was commenting here. Adams doesn't have any other options to take targets either. That team is trash besides Aaron Jones and Devante when it comes to catching balls. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of injuries over there. I can't even think of who's still not injured over there at Green Bay, but they didn't have the greatest of games. Um, now that you mentioned that, because I was going to recap some of the games on that. Um, you know, what a weekend. Again, Seattle getting shut out by Green Bay, but Green Bay didn't throw up too many points anyway. So, uh, so with that being said, what are we talking? How's it going to work out going forward? I mean, Ravens and Dolphins. Dolphins get the win over the Ravens. The Ravens defense is hurting. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but Dolphins did get the win at 22 points, and that's what I was talking about Tua coming into the game and pulling off the win. There's a close one with the Titans and the Saints, 23-21. The Bills just murdering the Jets. The Jets just had one touchdown early with Carter. I think Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore got that early. No, it was Carter early. Elijah Moore late. So they still at least the guys that needed to score scored, right? Uh, Lions and Steelers in a tie at 16-16 and final OT yesterday. That's crazy. You don't see too many ties, but it does happen. Again, the Colts putting it on the Jaguars 23-17. I can't believe Washington just put it down on that on the Buccaneers. Again, the 2-game losing streak. Let's see if they can't right the ship over there. Patriots putting it down on the Browns 45-7. And again, another Cowboys victory against the Falcons, 43-7, 3. Both games were just blowouts, and they were just controlled from the get go of the game, and then they never looked back. Um, Vikings taking the win over the Chargers, 27-20. Uh, and Eagles getting their win, 30-13 against the Broncos. So the Broncos, they did really well against the Cowboys. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, they you know blew us out. It was a great performance on the Broncos, but then they go face the Eagles, and it just goes to show you it's just kind of matchups and what's going on with the teams. I think that Dallas maybe had overlooked the Broncos, and the Broncos didn't. They came to play. So a little bit off topic, but I don't know, it's kind of fantasy relevant because all these games and these teams that are playing, you got to figure out which teams are winning and who you want to take the playoffs. Because the teams that are winning and going to the playoffs obviously are teams that are scoring more points, and you want to have the players on those fantasy teams on your team so that you could win in your playoffs. Um, let's see, Dylan Cassidy, Patriots are the real deal this year. Don't sleep on them. Yeah, no, I like Mac Jones. They didn't have a pretty good game last week, but this week they're doing decent. Um, you know, Chiefs doing the Chiefs things again, 41-14. I get mentioned Mahomes just killing it. I mean, he's just back to Mahomes. I think he had 5 touchdowns, whatever it is. And it doesn't matter. I'm just disgusted with it. I shouldn't go into Monday night games leading with 50 plus and then coming out with an L because of QB that scores that 49.24, almost 50 points. He was projected for 31.68. and that's what I don't even want to talk about it no more. But Mac Jones is doing some things. I do agree with you on that. Let's see the last game that Monday night right now. 49ers beat the Rams, and I think we start off the show. Wow, Debo, some serious things going on over there. Um, and the Rams just, you know, put up a lackluster play. I don't know what to say about that. You know, it happens. It happened to Dallas last week, and it happens to teams where in this case, it's a division game. They know each other pretty well, so sometimes that takes a lot into you know who they're playing. It doesn't necessarily mean that one team's uh, routing the other because of talent. It just means that they play each other so much and they know each other so well that it's always going to be a tough game for those division games, right? Anyways, you guys got some questions going because I'm running out of stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I got more stuff here. All right, we got one from Prism AS. All right, your thoughts? I made some trades, and I'm stacked on wide receiver. I need help deciding on three wide receivers week 11: Adams, Diggs, Chase, or Lamb. I would stake right off the bat Adams, Diggs, and Chase. I like CD Lamb a lot, but I don't think I could put him in over those guys. And then I have to look at the matchups for the week. But I mean, honestly, that really doesn't affect wide receivers as much as other players. But these guys like Mike know all the defensive guys. And they'll tell you who they're matching up against for that week, as far as the cornerback that they're going to be facing. Right? I'm not as familiar with all those guys. I just try to keep the offensive people in my head on that note. But I'm gonna take a look real quick. The Packers are playing the Vikings, so I'd still ride with that. You got Diggs, so you got going against. Let's see, and even play next week. Oh, the Colts. Ooh, that's gonna be a tough defense. And Chase, it's the Raiders. So yeah, I'd still maybe Adams, Diggs, and Lamb now. We'll roll with that because Cowboys are playing the Chiefs, and the Chiefs defense has been suspect at best lately. It's the offense that's keeping them. That it was the defense that was keeping them in the games. Now it's the offense is blowing them out. I think that Dallas will do well against them, so it should be a good game on that. So yeah, let me go back to some more of the waiver wire pickup guys. Give you some of the stats on those guys as we were talking here, and I'm just on my screens here. Let's go look at some wide receivers. Darnell Moody over at Chicago. I think he's been only 46% rostered, so that's right there on the cusp. You were talking about Robbie Anderson earlier. He's another pickup. Robbie Anderson. I already mentioned Brian Edwards, Las Vegas. So Marcus Johnson, Tennessee. He's not even rostered right now, so you could take a look at that guy. Um, it gets deep. Kendrick Bourne. I think somebody put up Kendrick Bourne up here. He's only 5% rostered. I'm on Ron St. Brown, another guy that's only 7% rostered, and Traquan Smith sighting. So some of these guys are really down there. I would just take up to the top five guys here with Gallup, Elijah Moore, Donald Mooney, Robbie Anderson, Brian Edwards. You have your best chance with those guys. Let's look at the tight ends for that matter. Dan Arnold over there in Jacksonville, Jaguars. Somebody to take a look at. Logan Thomas, he was back. Let's see what he did on the game. Check it out. I don't have the stats in front of me, but we're gonna get him right now. So yeah, he's just coming back. So he hasn't been back in the game. I didn't think he was back in. So we were talking about him coming back. He should be a guy that was doing pretty well before he got hurt. Was doing all right. The other guy, Conklin, 3 for 5, 11 yards. But he did end up getting just some looks that are available there. And I was hoping he had a touchdown. Oh yeah, he had two touchdowns on that game. So he 3 for 5, 11 yards and two touchdowns, and that was Tyler Conklin over there in Minnesota. So definitely a waiver wire pickup, and only 35% owned. Another guy you should be taking a look at. Let's see, Dylan Cassidy. You think Debo is a top 5 rest of the season wideout? He's just so efficient, even when he doesn't get a big workload. Yeah, yeah, I think so for sure. I forgot the stat that the guy said this Monday night as far as his yak, yards after contact. I think they were 7.9 or 9.5. I don't know, there's some ridiculous number, and that's after contact. And obviously if he gets the ball downfield somewhere, that the guys, I'd doing beast mode things, and I would definitely start him the rest of the season without a problem. You just seen him go against a tough defense, and it wasn't an issue. So keep it going. And he said I wouldn't be too high on Kendrick Bourne, even though the Pats' offense is great. They just spread it around, and so much that any guy that isn't Henry, Myers, and Harris is a fringe play. Uh, I tend to agree with some of that, and yes, it's always been like that at the Patriots when Brady was over there. Even then, you had some core guys that were getting the balls, but it was always being spread around. It was like basically game based on the game flow, right? Like who's the hot hand of the day, and that's who's getting the ball. And that's most of the game, most of the people, most of the teams, but it's specifically there, the Patriots, they kind of, stick to their the spread the ball around technique. But Myers is doing all right. Harris is doing pretty good. And Henry's doing all right, I think, too. Would I sell high on Zeke? No. Hold Zeke. He's going to win you the seasons. I mean, who else do you have? Why would you sell high on him? Like, what do you need, right, Ernie? Let us know, because I would not be selling Zeke unless you have some serious other problems. And you know, if that's the case, you probably have more problems that can be fixed. Um, would you trade AJ Brown and Mike Williams uh, and Gallup for Gibson and Sutton? AJ Brown, Mike Williams, and Gallup. Would I accept the trade? Probably not. I'd stick with Gibson. AJ Brown's a key guy in there. Mike Williams, I know Michael Gallup's coming back, but yeah, see, Dylan Cassidy's saying no shot. Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. That's not something I'm feeling on that. Moving on from that, Gerald Everett, another honorable mention here. Cole Kmet, I think that was Anthony's guy. But you know, let's see, we got defenses Miami and the Panthers. Things are looking up for the teams here. Um, the kickers another. I'm not even going to bench the kickers because I mean, it doesn't really matter who you get on those. It's been a rough week with those guys. Rough year for kickers all the way around. There's been so many kicks missed. It's ridiculous. So at this point, even the guys that hadn't missed have missed. I can't think of one guy that hasn't been missing. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. He says Gibson and Sutton on a downward trend right now, and you're selling two guys with uh, intense upside. Yeah, yeah. Gallup has a big upside, and so does AJ Brown. So yeah, I don't, I don't see why I would, I would just hold. I don't know why we would go after those guys, anyways. Again, I want to hear back from Ernie. Why were you selling high on Zeke? I don't understand that question. He's not doing bad, and he's not a player that you need to be trading away. On that note, so yeah, unfortunately, since I don't have stuff to bounce off with other guys, it's pretty hard for me to kind of keep the show going alone. I didn't have all the longer list that I thought I had, but I was just kind of went through it. Tim Patrick is still being a thing over there in Denver. Um, so another guy you may want to take a look at. Um, let's see who else we have on my list. I think I mentioned Benjamin just being a handcuff now. Nothing really big there. Um, we kind of went through the scores on these games, and basically, I'm going to call it a night, man. I'm going to call it a quick show. Unfortunately, the guys are not with me, and I appreciate you guys watching and sticking with me. I know it's going to be a short one tonight, and we usually go about 2 hours. It seems like, but it's pretty hard without the banner going back and forth, and just kind of quick talking with everybody here. Um, so, without further ado, appreciate all the comments, likes, and subscribes. I didn't put the banner up tonight. It's just a quick one. Unfortunately, again, the guys are out, and I'm just trying to hold down the fort for us here. And we'll be back again on Wednesday. with the trade talks and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure when Anthony's coming back. He might be here later. Maybe he could make it by 11 o'clock or so. And quite honestly, I don't have another hour worth of material for me to talk about all by myself. It's kind of one of those things where you're just unless I get a lot of feedback from the chats here, I could keep responding, but it helps to have the other person to bounce off the ideas going back and forth as to the guys that we were talking about and the overreactions we had over the weekend. And again, unfortunately, I didn't get to watch too many of the games. I was just otherwise indisposed. So I'm gonna call it a short night, man. It's only a few ones on there. Yeah, like Anthony's saying, we'll be back strong Wednesday. Fortunately, guys, again, I'm just trying to do my part here. Just trying to do my part. Yeah, you're welcome, man. He's indisposed. Dustin's indisposed. We do have personal lives, and we can't always be on here. It is what it is, man. Unfortunately, um, I know that we're working on hopefully maybe getting some more guys on the show, some different views. I know maybe we could get even some of these guys that are always commenting. Eli Murphy, maybe hit us up in the private chat in the sleeper channel. I know the links are in the description. Maybe I was telling the guys maybe we could get some of the guys on the show, like Dem Boys, but I think Dem Boys didn't want to be on here. I don't remember. I know that we talked to him about it before, and I appreciate it, Dylan. Thank you. Uh, great show nonetheless. Thanks, man. I'm putting it down. Uh, I'm just trying to answer the questions as best I can with the knowledge that I have and the people that I looked up some people here and, the big major injuries again with Aaron Jones going down, Cordero Patterson, and I forgot the other one that he had, but I mean, Mahomes is back, Cam is back, and Packers are shutting people down. That's the biggest takeaways from the week. You know what I mean? Go get you some Ramondre Stevenson uh, and Elijah Moore there. I really like those guys. I already had Rashad Bateman, so you can't have some of him as well. Yeah, and look, Dylan said, I'd love to put in some time. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe we could have a guest show one night. It is a lot of fun. It's difficult. Like, trust me, on this side of the field, it's a lot different than being over there. And he's all baseball season's almost over. I thought baseball was done. Yeah. Um, yeah, I wouldn't pick him up to be honest either, man. Again, I don't like running backs at all from New England, and even just picking up Stevenson was, Harris. I mean, was a long stretch for me for some people, but he was doing good. So I mean, kind of finally rolling down to the one guy. But not to stretch it out, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I want to say peace out, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday for a much longer show with more people. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Give us the likes, man. We need the likes for real. Thanks.